Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a MidRank Madness for your Friday. Thinking about moving this to a different day. These don't get very much attention, so I'm thinking about moving it to another day where I have a Brood War cast as well. Let me know what you think in the comments about that, and enjoy this game. Alright, so top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. It is FireBird, and in the bottom right on Nightshade, we have the blue Zerg player, Jimmy. I like that name, Jimmy, very much. It reminds me of Raynor. Jim Raynor. Let's see, who calls him Jimmy? I think Tychus does. And, I think that's about it. Anyway, 17 hatch here from Jimmy. Maybe he doesn't know about the 16, 18, 17 that is safe and economical, but I don't know. I'm not sure it matters that much at this level of MidRank Madness. If you want me to cast your Platinum or Diamond level replay, send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of MidRank Madness. I'll get them to my screener, Sniper Monkey. He will choose the best ones, and we will end up getting them on the channel. All right, that's what he did. Thanks again, Sniper Monkey, for going through all the MidRank Madness games I get quite a few. So if you don't get selected, don't feel bad about it. There's a lot of competition out there. There's only so many MidRank Madness games per month, and I try to get the very best available to ya. Now, one base in it. Here is FireBird. What is this? Double gas opening. This has to be a FAC play. Like, this barracks is going to maybe make a Reaper, and then it's time for a factory because you have all the gas in the known world coming to you right now. I mean, you don't have enough gas right now, but give it a couple seconds. You're saturated on 2. Actually, not fully saturated on both refineries, just 2 on each. What is this build, FireBird? What are you doing, my guy? Anyway, Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Father Time. There is no backstory on this one because there doesn't have to be a backstory, but Father Time the Reaper's coming out. Oh, alright, and now we're going for the expansion. So it's kind of a one-racks expand, except your second gas was really fast. I don't know what this build is, FireBird, but I have to assume it's a factory now, maybe 2 factories. This kind of feels mechy to me. Just that early, it's an early gas. That's the only difference between this and a normal one-racks expand, is the gas came up way, way before the command center was starting construction. Jimmy's going for a third at 220. Holy crap. So he's going to have enough lings to handle this Reaper for sure. Queens are going to be on time too. So early hatchery, but I think the Reaper was delayed a little bit because that gas was so early. And as a result, the Reaper harass, there's going to be lings and a queen popping out. So nothing too strange here at all. Yeah, there it is. Lings ready to rock. Queen's the big deal here. Jimmy's queen is not doing anything. Either defend or spread creep or inject or something. There's an inject first. Again, Cyril would go for that tumor first to start connecting these bases with creep. That really is very important. I'd recommend you do that if you're a Zerg player. And there's your factory. Again, this looks like a really standard one-racks expand into a 1-1-1 play. But which just means 1 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport. It gives you a lot of ability to do pretty much anything that you want if you happen to be, you know, a Terran player. So, yep, swapping it around. There we go. Hellion production's probably going to begin here. Jimmy knows how to handle this stuff. Nothing too crazy coming his way. And again, this could also potentially be a battlecruiser follow-up. Just because of all the gas we're seeing here. Really not much is being spent at all. So our Reaper Father Time is here to remind everybody of their own mortality. Trying to kill the spawning pool is not super great. Get out of there. Get out of there. There he does. 12 HP. Not dead. 1 kill. That was a Zergling. So does he have a creep queen? Or did he just brought the queen from the main base. He's bringing them down here. No, there's one here. Okay, so yes, he did make 3 queens before the 3rd base was done, so he could walk her down here, making another queen. I love the continued queen production. You do want to do that if you are Jimmy. Overlord getting chased away by 2 Marines. Should be able to get out of here alive. And he does, no problem, no questions asked. Another slow Overlord moving in. Overlord speed is not being researched, and about 3.5, 4 minutes. You want to start that Overlord speed just so you can actually get in here without getting killed. Not that there's a problem here, but cloaks on the way and a medevac. It's almost like FireBird wants Jimmy to think he's going for cloak Banshees when he definitely is. I mean, not right now anyway. I mean, this could be a Banshee follow-up for FireBird. What is this plan? Hellions trying to do things, but at the same time heading home for reasons unknown. Double barracks. Okay, so it's going to be a bio play. FireBird is floating a ton of gas for this bio play. I mean, he's going for a Hellion drop, which is pretty strong stuff. I'm okay with a Hellion drop showing up inside the main base. There's usually not a ton of defense over here, whereas there should be some at these bases. Man, a fourth base at 4.5 minutes. Love this from Jimmy. His timings are good. His timings are very good right now. I got to say, both players playing not super duper optimally, but, you know, that's okay. That's what MidRank Madness is all about. We're trying to see what's going on in the section of the StarCraft 2 player base that is the biggest. And that is this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hellions dropping into the main. Again, there's only a queen here defending, as is tradition, really. There's really no reason to have much of any more defense in here at all. It's really bad stuff. Meanwhile, these Hellions at the front die to the speedlings, but the Hellions in the main are almost unopposed. The drone count is plummeting. 10 drones have been killed. I want to say most of them are from that attack. Jimmy is down to 48 workers. Oh, drops them down here into the third base to get even more drone kills. What are we looking at here? 17, 18 drone kills? Are we serious right now? Wow. Okay, FireBird's doing it right. It's 45 to 39 workers. It would be so much worse except for that drone killage. FireBird knows how to play Terran. You got to get that harassment done, and he does have a Banshee. So Banshee's Widow Mines, Cloak is done for that Banshee. Is there spores? Dude, you got to make spores. They're safety spores is what they are, or at least have a lair so that you can make over. Dude, if you at 6 minutes have no way to make detection at all, he's expanding again. So Jimmy's going for a macro hatch. He's just feeling okay about this game, which I don't know that he should be. Yeah, he forgot about safety spores. Forgetting about safety spores is a bad thing. Make them now. You know there's a Banshee. Just make it. I mean, a lair's on the way, sure. Does he just not want to spend... He doesn't want to spend drones on spores, I guess? I don't know, but man, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, almost a 5-basing Jimmy here versus a 2-basing FireBird. I don't know where FireBird's third base is. It was needed about a minute and a half ago, maybe 2 minutes. Although he can force a cancel in this hatch all by his lonesome with this one Banshee, which is nuts. Is the Banshee going to show that she has cloak? There it is. She lured the queens out, then cloaked up, and then forced a cancel on the hatch. That's beautiful stuff. That's really good. Really good mind games there out of FireBird. Kapla, 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 kapla. All right, Cloak Banshee says, what up? Spores are finally under construction, sort of. There we go, there's one. But this is a really ripe vase for the picking, FireBird. Get on in there. Meanwhile, third base has landed for FireBird. Banshee doesn't have a ton of kills, but is starting to rack them up now on these drones. The drone kill count is a little bit insane. We're at 22 and increasing as... Even if this spore finishes, it's not in range to actually get this. Oh, now it is. So don't attack. Do not attack. All right. Well, Banshee's done. That's okay. I guess maybe worried about Lings running up to your third base. Yeah. 27 drones killed in the first 7 minutes is pretty good, FireBird. I am really impressed with you right now. Going for +2 attack on the Zerglings and +1 armor. Marines. And a ton of Widow Mines coming on in here, which is really good against Zerglings. I don't know why there aren't Banelings. Is Jimmy just completely skipping tech here? He's just going for upgraded Lings. Who is this? Me? Even I make Banelings. I can't believe he's trying to do this with upgraded Lings, you guys. This is not going to go well for him. I love his macro. He's at 73 workers despite the number of drones that have died in this game. And, well, that was pretty nice. So Ling popped out, managed to save a bunch of the drones from a fate worse than death, which is being barbecued alive. So Jimmy's at 73 workers. FireBird is at 54. And Jimmy should have a bigger army than he does, but he does not. And a more diverse army than he does, but he does not. Is he really going to do this? Friendly fire! Widow Mines, though! Okay, all right. The friendly fire Widow Mines were a problem for these Marines. But they are still going to push forward once all the Zerglings are dead and try to kill these queens, which is exactly what you want to do in this situation if you are FireBird. 44 Lings in production. The Widow Mines, 4 kills. 4 kills, 8 kills. 10 kills on these Widow Mines. They do work against Zerglings. They really do. Widow Mines, ba 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 ba. Widow Mines, ba 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 ba. Again, some friendly fire here. And the medevac goes down, which is a problem. You can't defend this with Lings and Queens. Jimmy is the macro king right now, but he is not know enough about dealing with this kind of attack from a Terran player. You can't do it. Like, these Queens have decent carapace upgrades, but the Marines are scary. The Marines have 1-1. They're going to die eventually thanks to really good transfuses. But guess what? FireBird has another army because he's been macroing behind this. He's not one of those players that just runs at you, forgets to do anything else. Right? And then has to attack you 5 minutes later. Another base on the way from Jimmy on the right side, by the way. He is expending the crazy person FireBird, taking the 12 o'clock too. Zerglings doing all right against this group. Surprisingly well against that group. The Widow Mines get some shots against the queens. They get a queen, but Widowmine's also down. So Jimmy is trying to win this game with Zerglings. I don't see any further tech from him at all. He's making macro hatches. What is this? What is Jimmy doing? Jimmy! Make other tech. He's making an infestation pit. Okay, so maybe this is like a Zergling into Ultralisk Rush, which is kind of a strategy after my own heart. I love that FireBird is getting some tanks. He's got more Widowmines on in here. The Zerglings are working on +2 ground carapace, but it will be a while before it's done. Look at him engaging off creep. This is so bad. This is so bad from Jimmy. Don't do this. Ah! This hurts my Zerg heart to watch you run Lings off creep into a big ball of Marines like that with no support. Okay, that queen was just not long for the world. Bye. Like, maybe if you get a surround, the Widowmine friendly fire again, causing problems for this bio group. Holy crap. Zerglings actually taking down Marauders and these tanks. They have good upgrades, right? I'm not going to complain about the upgrades because that's the one thing that's been going really well for Jimmy is the upgrades. Single Zergling shutting down the 12 o'clock expansion by his lonesome. FireBird still has army on the front door of the creep here. Guess what's on the way? 10 more Zerglings, because that's what you got to do. The drone massacre continues with 43 drones killed in the first 11 minutes of this game. It is 56 to 66 workers. Remember when Jimmy had 75 workers? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. FireBird is now up on that with 66 himself. He's got 1, 2, 3. He's got 4, 5 bases, almost a 5th base up north here. Zerglings running to their deaths here as well. Dude, Jimmy, what is your plan? What is your plan other than Zerglings? Again, I love Zerglings. I understand where you're coming from with this. You know how much easier this is if you have some Banelings? Like, so much easier with Banelings. You're making your life incredibly hard. Alright, well, Queens are fighting, which, not terrible, I guess. FireBird attacking down the left side at the same time, because multi-pronged attacks are how you beat Zerg, usually. It is hard for Zerg. Okay, well, that's full surround. This group dies. But guess what? There's nothing down to the south to defend against this, except for some Lings that die instantly, and a Queen which dies instantly, and some drones which all die instantly because the target firing is pretty good here from FireBird. One drone escapes with 1 HP, and everything else at the 6 o'clock position for Jimmy Z is dead. Why Jimmy Z? His name's just Jimmy. Good grief, this game. Jimmy, do you need to ask what he's doing? He's making 36 more Lings. 36 more Lings. Does he even... No. Does he have a hive? No. He made an infestation pit. He has not made any infestors. He has not made a hive. He's making 32 Zerglings right now. Dude, this is insanity. I kind of... Like, I'm a little bit inspired by this. His macro is decent. He's spending his money pretty well. But it is hard to spend your money well enough on 60 workers on Zerglings because they are so larva intensive. Larva per cost is a lot, right? So you're running out of larva. FireBird attacking the right side, unopposed. Zergling's trying to go after this command center to some extent. You know what would be really good for these Lings is adrenal glands. It'd be really, really good if you could get adrenal glands for these Lings. But hives are not for Jimmy today. He is personally opposed to making a hive. He's trying to win this thing on lair tech with Zerglings and Queens. Dude, if FireBird realized what was going on here, I think he would just make like 1,000,000 Banshees and win this game. Liberators are fine, but look at this. Look at these Lings dying. Engagement on the right side. Liberators in the mix. Loving the Liberators in the mix here. Again, not great at killing Zerglings fast, which is kind of what you want Liberators to do. Or air units to do, but we're still... we are still over here with Zerglings getting work done. These are 2-2 Zerglings. These aren't even 3-3s. This is crazy. This group, these Marauders are finally going to go down. 3 kills, 5 kills, Liberator out. Marauders can stand pretty well if they have 2-2 against Queens. Widowmine takes down a Queen. Marauders down to Zerglings because that's what they are. And Jimmy is just stuck in Zergling mode. Like, hardcore stuck in Zergling mode. He needs to transfer some of his workers from his natural to another base. I suggest the third, as the third base is not fully saturated yet. That'd be a good idea. 12 o'clock. Dude, FireBird, pro tip for FireBird. If your opponent is making nothing but Zerglings, Planetary Fortress your expansions. It's really, really helpful to be able to planetary fortress your expansions when your opponent only has Zerglings. It takes an infinite number of 2/2 lings to actually take down a PF. Assuming they don't have any Baneling support, right? This is insanity. It's 138 to 111 supply. The Terran player is up big time. Wouldn't mind 12 kills, wouldn't mind 8 kills. I assume he has Drilling Claws because those are still alive, and he does. Of course he does. Is anybody making yet detection? Hey, Overseer's on the way. I think these are... Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Liberator setting up at an empty base. I guess killing larvae is not a bad thing to do. How many larvae do you have? 17? 17 larvae, 15 drones on the way. He's like, oh, I'm down to 49 workers. That's bad. Let's make a bunch more. A bunch more drones. Liberator out. FireBird continuing to move in with Marines and medics and medevacs and stuff. Getting 3/3 for his guys is beautiful. And I might just kind of seal the deal here is 3/3 Marines versus 2/2 Zerglings is not even a fair fight. That is when you really need fungal. You really need banelings. You need something that can splash damage against these guys. Because coming at them one by one is not going to work out for you. These drones need to go back to work. Or they could all just be massacred where they stand. I guess that's fine too. He's still not doing it. Yeah, these... Somebody heard that Snoot can go Ling Queen for the first few minutes of a game versus Terran and be just fine, and that's true. But Snoot will eventually tech up to something else. Jimmy, GG's out. What an insane game. This is so weird. Such a weird game today. What am I even looking at here? 24,000 losses from Jimmy, 16,000 losses from FireBird. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Jimmy was trying to prove that you can beat Terran with just Zerglings and Queens. This is such a weird game. I don't know how he lasted until 16 minutes. He has really good macro. That's what it is. He has 50 drones right now, and he lost 85, which means he made 185 drones in 16 minutes. That's a lot. FireBird lost 46 SCVs and has 51 himself, so a lot of workers died here today. It's 500 or 650 Zerglings and 19 Queens for Jimmy. That's his losses right now. 3 hatches down, 2 orbital commands down, Marines, Marauders. I mean, tanks. This all looks the same for FireBird, right? Nothing he has done here is crazy. But yeah, Army Supply 44 to 1. 2014 Queens are just not going to handle it against 2/2 Marines and Marauders and soon to be 3/3, especially with all this medevac support. The tanks back here doing some work, 7 kills and 8 kills on them. Widowmine's in the mix. FireBird doing the right thing and actually having a varied composition instead of making nothing but Zerglings. I kind of feel like this is a wake-up call for me. Like, maybe don't just only make Zerglings. I don't, though. You get a Baneling nest up, man. You get a Baneling nest at like 3.5, 4 minutes. You get safety spores. You make Banelings. You spread the creep. You attack stuff on Banelings and kill them. Keep expanding. Go for, I don't know, Corruptors maybe, Mutas maybe, Hydras maybe, anything but just Zerglings. For the love of all that is holy, Jimmy, don't just only make Zerglings. Okay, well, I mean, what else can we say about this game? The Zergling counterattacks were good, right? A lot of SCVs died. This base was basically dead. The natural base did die for FireBird. The 12 o'clock was killed too. So, I mean, he did a great job sniping bases there, but he couldn't stay alive once the 3/3 Marines and Marauders with all those medevacs showed up and very intelligently tapped out. He could have drawn this out, right? He could have maybe tried to draw this out for another couple minutes here, but he didn't, recognizing what the writing on the wall was. And this is why you tech up. I think most people watching this understand that concept. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. You think he figured this out in the end? Insanity. Okay. Well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
ascensions before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. From order we find justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. The path of ascension is before us. Guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Sense a soul. The soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. On that to me.